Hi. So in this chapter, we'll be starting a completely new section called Propositional Logic. And I think you'll find this is, some people find categorical syllogisms easier, some people find propositional logic either. It's kind of the difference for those people who like geometry more than algebra and those people who like algebra more than geometry. And this is kind of the algebra side. So, and you'll see why when we get into it, because there's a lot of symbolization, and oftentimes when we talk about symbolic logic, we're really just talking about propositional logic, even though there's something we'll get to later called predicate logic, which is very similar. Um, Now, the basic thing you should know is that in propositional logic, the basic elements we're using are not terms, but rather propositions themselves, whole propositions. Such that, for instance, let's take a statement that we might have talked about in categorical logic. All roses are red, right? We could symbolize that. That's actually an A statement, right, in categorical logic. And the key elements we use for determining the validity of not the statement, but a full argument, goes down to the terms, right? All roses, and the major term of that statement, or the subject term, is roses, and the predicate term is redness, right? We'll see with propositional logic, we don't look at all of the terms. We're concerned with the whole proposition, and actually we'll symbolize that whole statement just with one letter, R. And then what we're going to see is we're going to introduce things that are called operations or connectives. There are ways in which we combine different propositions to fill it out. And then later on, we're not going to cover it in this section today, but later on in our chapter, we'll see that there's ways for determining the validity of really intricate patterns of propositional arguments. And what propositional logic does is it gives us a leg up on determining the validity of really complex arguments. Where, for instance, in categorical logic, really there's only a few argument forms we can talk about. And in many arguments we make in ordinary life could never be put in categorical form, right? Even though they are in fact logical. So what propositional logic will do is it'll give us really a tool set for determining the validity of an argument apart from the idea, apart from its form of always being in categories. So whereas in categorical logic we were concerned with the whole categories and how those categories relate, here we're not concerned with categories at all. Here we're concerned with the connectives and the logical validity of connectives made between whole statements and propositions. So what I want to do here is I'm going to show you there's going to be two more videos down below besides this basic one, which is an introduction. The first video is going to show you basically some of the ways in which we could translate statements, and the second one will show you the sorts of operations we utilize in those. Okay,